Hi, and welcome back to the Silage Zone. It's early June, and I think it's a great opportunity to go over a couple of things that we have a chance to maybe take a look back and really fine-tune our planting program. So, in Wisconsin, for the most part, we've had one of the best springs in several years as far as planting conditions and just overall field conditions. So I think it's a great opportunity to look at how well our planter did and how well our seed emerged, because there really aren't a lot of excuses for it not to be very good, since we didn't have a lot of adverse conditions to work under like we have had in recent years. So, planter and seed. But today, on this podcast, I'm just going to talk about seed performance. I'll cover planter performance on the next one. What I've heard back from the field is that the Pioneer products are doing excellent as far as emergence. Most of the plants there very evenly emerge, which is going to help us make the most bushels, the most tons of silage, whatever it may be. So I want to pull back the curtain a little bit today on what Pioneer does to get that kind of performance. Two main things. We do a warm germ test, and we also do what we call a Pioneer stress test or PST test. The warm germ, like most other companies, is done initially right when we harvest the product, process it, package it. We'll take a sample, find out what the warm germ is, record that, and that'll be what goes on the tag. But the thing we do, we recognize that seed's not like wine. It doesn't get better with time. We'll check it again in the spring to make sure that that warm germ test still satisfy the tag number that we have on there. Second thing we do that I think is unique to the industry is the Pioneer stress test. And it's not only lab-based as far as getting a number, but it's field-based. So the field-based part is we have 7 locations in North America, all north of Des Moines, that we really utilize to put that seed to an extreme test. We'll plant all the seed early April, mid-April. We look for locations and use locations that are heavy sand so that we have more temperature fluctuation in the soil once the seed's in the ground. And we'll plant it deeper than normal. We'll plant it at 2.5 inches versus the normal of 1.5 to 2 that we recommend on a commercial basis. And we do it across all maturities, from early to late. We do it over multiple years. We do it from R4 when it's in development, R5 development, all the way to commercial products. So we really get to know that product. And again, I mentioned we have those field sites, we have the lab test, but that lab test that we use is verified against those results at those 7 sites. So if we get a lab result that says, oh, it's got a great PST score, but we look back to the field results and it says not so much, we're going to find out why. Was it a different lot? What was going on that may have caused that number to not match up with what we got for the lab result compared to the field test? Pioneer scores all of its hybrids from 1 to 9 for stress emergence. Most of the scores for stress emergence fall in the categories from 4 to 7, with 4 being a lower stress emergence score, 7 being a very high emergence score. So once we know that product, doing it over several years, if we end up having a product on the market that is scored a 4 for stress emergence, most of the time we're going to take additional management procedures using proprietary practices at harvest with a defoliation program that will dramatically improve that stress emergence score in almost all cases. So that's what we'll do. If we know we got one that maybe struggles with it, we're going to make sure that we find out about that early and then treat it accordingly so that you still have a great performing product in the bag. And the neat thing about all this is that everything we learn goes back into our breeding program. We know that there's a genetic component of this, and our breeders have been selecting for it for years. And we also know that there's management to it about how we harvest that seed in the fall, process it, store it, the seed treatment that we use on it, all adds up to equaling great seed, which for you means great stands. So, just wanted to share with you a little bit about what Pioneer does to provide you great emerging seed for those great stands. Next podcast, I'm going to concentrate on planter performance. Reach out to your local Pioneer agency to learn more about what we do to provide the best quality seed possible. Thanks. We'll see you next time.
That concludes this Pioneer Agronomy video podcast. Visit our page on pioneer.com and follow us on Twitter and Facebook for more agronomy insights.